But speaking of boring and predictable, the Greens are quite perturbed that One Nation is starting to really gain traction because, of course, it's far-right extremism because she's not extreme. She's not extreme. She is the bastion of morality, Mehreen Faruqi. Farquhar.
Faruqi, something like that.
I'll never be able to say her name.
You can't compare extreme left-wing ideology with moderate right-wing nationalist ideology. That's just, anyone to the right of Stalin. We've talked about this, Carly. I can't believe I have to go over this again with you. Anyone to the right of Stalin is literally Hitler. Can we just accept that that's true? Don't ask me to explain it. Don't ask me to justify it. It's just true. All right?
They say it's true, so it must be true.
That's right. That woman, that One Nation woman, I tell you, what a scourge on humanity she is.
Can I read this statement? So this is from Mehreen. What is her name? Faruqi. Where did I get Farquhar from?
I think it's Faruqi or Faruqi. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So she's Pakistani for starters, and she's an immigrant, and she's a senator for the Greens. And she goes,
can I touch on the Pakistani thing? Sorry, can I touch on the Pakistani thing? She was required, so she had not revoked her citizenship properly when she ran or after she was sworn in. I don't remember the details of the timing, but she was very upset about having to go and revoke her Pakistani citizenship. She did not think that she should have to do that in order to serve the Australian people as a taxpayer-funded senator representing the Australian people and the Australian people alone. She took issue with the idea that she could not also be a Pakistani citizen. And I think that says a lot right there.
Oh, doesn't it? These people just hate this country. Why are you here? Wasn't it Pauline Hanson that said to her, go back to Pakistan then? Like, I'm so on board with that sentiment.
Yeah. But it was also, hang on, it's funny though, because it was dual citizenship issues that got Pauline in trouble. And I believe, and I'm digging into the memory here, but I think Malcolm Roberts had a brief issue with some potential citizenship issues as well, and others have as well. It's not a particularly uncommon thing in today's world. When our Constitution was written, the idea of being a dual citizen was incredibly rare. And so, today it's becoming much more of an issue. But I think Pauline Hanson, out of everybody, has standing, given that she went to prison for it. She has standing to be able to tell some of these other people where to go.
Yeah, I think so too. And Pauline, she's got a backbone, man. She's one of the few in there that does. And she stood by herself for 30 years. Now all of a sudden she's finally getting a return on and all that. But I'm going to read you this statement from Mehreen.
Sorry, I keep interrupting. I will stop.
Yeah. You know me, I'm not one for mincing my words, so I'll say it like this. The political space they've captured overseas exists here too. I assume she's referring to Trump. It is waiting for us. It is begging for us. I think she's talking about Zohan. We must be bold enough to claim it. We have got to be honest with ourselves, though. The Green vote in Australia has stagnated. We are not winning in the way we should, despite the fact that our policies do tackle the scale of ecological, economic, and social crises we face. Meanwhile, as the Liberal Party collapses, the hard right surges. One Nation doubled its senators last election. Their national polling has doubled too. They are now polling ahead of us. I wonder why. This has me really worried. But this next bit, this bit in bold, really bothers me. This has me really worried, not just for migrants, Muslims, and trans people, but for everyone in this country. Why the fuck were they singled out? Why were migrants, Muslims, and trans people singled out above Australians?
Yeah.
Who are you advocating for? You are an Australian representative. And she goes on to say, we have to ask ourselves why ordinary people disillusioned with politics are not turning to the party with the most humane, future-focused policies in the country. Why we're not peeling more people away from Labor.
Because you're an idiot. That's why. So the Greens have run into a problem where they're a known quantity. Anyone that's ever going to vote for the Greens has already voted for them at least once in their life. Now, having said that, I'm going to flag an area where I've been wrong. I said the same thing about One Nation. One Nation's peaked. Everyone that's ever going to vote for One Nation has already voted for One Nation. Well, on current polling, that's being proven wrong, right? So clearly what's happened in the case of One Nation, Pauline Hanson, she's been saying things for a very long time that are finally being proven to be true. They were always true, but now the fact that they're true is becoming undeniable. She and Malcolm Roberts, etc., rejected net zero from the start. They rejected all the nonsense about cutting CO2 emissions. They rejected all of it outright back when it was very politically incorrect, back when you weren't supposed to do that. And now they're being rewarded for it. People like the Nationals are coming in late. And they're trying to say, hey, listen, we're rejecting net zero too. We can be the cool kids as well, because they've realized that the winds have shifted. But it's not credible, especially not with David Littleproud still in the leadership of that party. It's not credible because this is a change in position from them. For One Nation, this is their position. This has always been their position. Same on immigration. I disagree with them on immigration, but most of Australia now agrees with them. Most of Australia's come across to their position, and they can credibly defend that position because it's been their position the whole time. And again, we could go through issue after issue. So I think the reason why One Nation have broken out of that ceiling that I predicted they wouldn't be able to break out of is because history has vindicated so much of what they said. For the Greens, that's never going to happen because everything they say is nonsense. They're never going to ride a wave of vindication. It's just not going to happen. There's not going to be a moment in time where you and I look at each other and go, oh my goodness, we were completely wrong about this climate change thing. It turns out it is an existential crisis. That day's never coming. So that breakout event that's going to allow them to break out of their current cap is simply never going to happen. For Mehreen Faruqi, I mean, it's amazing that she's even still in the Greens, given all the nonsense and the grief she's caused them. But they've peaked. That's it for them. The Labor Party are going to eat their lunch, even as One Nation are eating the Liberal Party.
Yeah, it's interesting. God, the whole far right, hard right rhetoric is just exhausting.
Tiring.
None of these people want to admit the fact that the political, the Overton window has shifted so far in their favor that anyone that's now considering One Nation is just exactly where they were prior. It's just everything's moved over. Everything that the Liberals currently stand for, especially under Susan Ley, is a Labor light. So when people are saying, well, I'm going to One Nation, they haven't gone far right. They're still where they were. Their values are still the same. And G did make a point, to be fair, I haven't been on X a lot the last couple of days, but he was saying that there's already a bunch of hit pieces coming out about Pauline. They're really drumming the war up on her again because obviously she's doing something right, which tells you she's over target. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, they're worried.
All right, whoa. You mean to tell me you've watched all the way to this point, an entire segment of the Oddcast, and you're still not subscribed? Seriously, what is wrong with you? Just subscribe, like, share, tell everybody. You had fun, right? Tell everybody else. Let them have some fun too. And listen, buy me some coffee, please. I'm desperate. I'm starting to get the shakes. There's a coffee. That one. Scan that coffee, please, now. Thanks.